Hey, if anybody's there, please say something. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Hopefully the audio is nice and balanced. I've arrived. Okay. Good to hear from you. Can hear you? Okay. Alright. So last time I played Yellow, I was at Giovanni's gym. And what I've decided to do now is to capture Zapdos, because he'll be useful during the Elite Four. I know Zapdos is technically genderless, but yeah. Alright. Maybe that should be better. So all I've done off screen is just fly to the power plant, so you guys don't hear that. But hopefully everybody's okay. Hopefully the game volume is better. Maybe we can get Nidoqueen up a few levels. Who knows? Carbos. That's for speed. My team is lacking in speed. I'll save it for later. Alright, it's the bomb from Dragon Quest. I remember being infuriated by how Zapdos could just avoid the Pokeballs and bounce them back. It seems like a doesn't it? And then Voltorb blows up. Oh man, please don't kill Nidoqueen. I don't want that to happen. Okay. She was able to tough it out. Zapdos is going to be the only legendary bird I'll do for this run. Mostly because I love Articuno, but Articuno is low. And with Slowbro has Ice Beam, so I have good ice coverage for Lance. But Zapdos will be very useful for Lorelei, because unfortunately my Pikachu is just way too outclassed. And, I mean, this isn't really a speed run, but, you know, it's kind of more of a casual run. But at the same time, I don't want to dilly-dally. So let's see what I accomplish in an hour, and then I'll do Super NES Classic for about 30 minutes. I'll let you guys vote on what you want me to do for when I do Super NES Classic when it comes to that. Today was my day off. I had been working 7 days straight, so I'm happy to finally have some time off. I think I'm really good with sound editing for the Injustice video, and my goal is to have that done either Saturday or Sunday. I was kind of discouraged about that for a while, but I think I'm just kind of getting over my shakiness about the voiceover, and I'm just thinking, you know, I just have to finish the video, because why waste my time and the other people's time if I'm not going to do it? Yeah, Valentine's Day was brutal, Grant. Jesus Christ. Valentine's Day, I put in about 14 hours between two jobs. To replenish my bank account after a dumb car bill. But yeah, after a lot of delays, I really want to get Injustice done before President's Day, and it just seems appropriate. Electrode. Gotta love that toothy grin he gives. Okay, it's an it. It's an it. That's a very redundant statement. Sam, good to see you. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Um, oh, he means the turtles are gonna be in DLC. Damn it, I don't want to spend money on video games. You know, maybe I'll try to record something quickly tomorrow. Suspicious. Good to see you, Sam. Good to have you here. Sam, we're gonna do Pokemon Yellow for an hour, and then after an hour, we're gonna do Super NES Classic for about 30 minutes. Me and some friends are gonna see Black Panther later tonight. Yeah. Yeah, what I like about the Pokemon Generation 1 games, actually, up until Generations 1, 2, and 3, they're very well paced, and you can do a surprising yeah. Yeah, granted, from Foster's. You can do a surprising amount of anything in this game in just about an hour. Uh, the pace is very good. It's not lost on me. One of my friends from high school, she was obsessed with Blue, and she even had a T-shirt of him that said "Quiet Intensity" on it. Uh, Grimer is in yellow in the power plant. Grimer is not in the power plant in red and blue. I feel like I'm backtracking a bit. Yeah, I think I was going the right way after all. Thankfully, the power plant only has one floor. It's not like some of the other dungeons. Oh, that's bad. I was gonna say Blue the character, Blue the version, or Blue the Eiffel 65 song, but you answered my question with the shirt comment. I guess Eiffel 65 is the Blue Dabadida Badai song. Man, let me tell you, I remember when that song came out. And that was popular for one weekend. And then everybody forgot about it. I think they had a trailer, not a trailer, I think they had a music video of it on the Disney Channel. And that's why it was very briefly popular. It was a sleeper fed hit, if you will. Yeah, I believe I'm going in the right direction now. It had animated bad CGI aliens. Yeah, when I was younger, I thought the rubble sprites look an awful lot like tennis shoes. Whoa! I'm gonna change the colors now for no reason. I would have preferred it if those blue. I would have preferred it if those blue. Silly. It was either on Disney or Nick. I know Who Let the Dogs Out premiering in between segments of Shock Zone. I almost said Cock Zone. I'm pretty sure that the blue song was on the Disney Channel, because when I finally got it, I was watching it quite a bit. I didn't have the courage to admit that I didn't like it, but I did watch the Disney Channel quite a bit. Because the thing is, when I was younger, Disney Channel was a premium network. Like, Rudy's got the cock. Oh God, I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks from 5th grade all of a sudden. The thing with the Disney Channel is that when I was younger, like when I was in pre-elementary school, you could only get it. It was almost like HBO. It was a premium channel. It wasn't part of the basic cable package like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network were. So it was kind of like a special treat. Sometimes they would tease you by having weekends where it was available for like 2 days and then get rid of it. But it was essentially Toon Disney, what eventually became Toon Disney. And then Toon Disney became Disney XD. Who would be good to teach Reflect to? Um, Maybe Snorlax? Snorlax can't learn Reflect. Actually, nah. Yes. Don't need Reflect for now. What I need is Zapdos. Well, eventually Disney Channel became part of the basic cable package, but that's when they pushed a lot of the Disney Vault and the animated stuff out for the what I like to call the teeny bot bullshit, and they never really let up from that. Although I liked some of their sitcoms, I don't want to be entirely negative. I think even Stevens and Lizzie McGuire were okay for what they were. I become very critical. That's So Raven started a really goddamn. I'm getting a lot of encounters here. Started a very cookie cutter trend that they never let up, and I mean the only real bright spot from all that was Gravity Falls for me, and then they took that away from me. But that's okay. TV's bad for your brain. You shouldn't watch it. The only TV I've watched the past few days is the Olympics, and I thought the opening, the pregame show, I thought it was a little bit anticlimactic. You know, I felt like I was getting no encounters earlier, and then the further I go into the dungeon, I'm just running into more and more magnets. And then the Disney Channel became Disney Channel, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like how Boomerang is basically just Cartoon Network 2, and Nicktoons and T-Nick are kind of like a passing resemblance of any of the good stuff from Nickelodeon. It's pretty gross. Actually, I was channel surfing a few days ago when I had the place to myself, and they were playing some of their crappy cookie cutter sitcoms on Nicktoons. I guess just to show you how far that network is falling. That's remember Nick at Night. I'm pretty sure they still have it. My mole blew up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they still have Nick at Night. Nick at Night used to be a nice link to the past, but then it eventually became the That 70s Show, Fresh Prince, and George Lopez nonstop block. And, well, That 70s Show is one of my all-time favorite guilty pleasure shows. I could watch a few episodes of that and have a good night. I guess same thing with Fresh Prince, but George Lopez is not good. when I was younger, they had me TV as Nick at Night 2.0. Yeah, more or less from what I last checked. I think I'm getting closer to the bird. Yep, we're almost done here. What's this item? Oh, it's not an item. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in another stream, but I like how in the anime that... damn it, self-destruct. Please don't kill Nido Queen. I really want that experience. Okay. Yeah, she's a tough little cookie. She can stand by me. Yeah, we're almost done here. Yeah, could you see? I just realized Electro has a red stubble. You know, I don't notice it, and I'm playing the game right now. I can't be the only one who would think that as a kid, sprites here would resemble tennis shoes, and they look like that on a small Gameboy screen. Alright, here's the bird. It's gonna, hey bird. But notice how it has its back turned on me, like it's so bashful. Me and Sam, when we've had a few cooperative runs at Pokemon Encounter, we've kind of joked about how important it is applying real life logic into running into the legendary Pokemon, in that they just their sprites just sit there, and I was kind of like, hey, how's it going? All right. That disappears. One of the common forms of missing now has Zapdos's cry, and I think that's very eerie. Master Ball, yeah. Okay. Because of the way the values in this game are programmed, there is a incredibly small chance that the Master Ball could fail. I think it's 1 in 255 or 1 in 256. But it is possible. What should I call Zapdos? I took a minor risk not saving the game, but I've only had a Master Ball fail me one time. Nidoqueen looks like a bunch of grapes. From the behind. Hey, what are we going to call Zapdos? I learned about the chance of failure in that commercial about the Master Ball from those cool people. Yeah. Interesting production company those guys have. Tight operation, let me tell you. Shiz Guy Grapes, what you watching, son? Okay, seriously, let's name Zapdos already. What should we? Sunny, okay, perfect. Sunny D. It's a great name. And don't drink Sunny D, it's not good for you. Sunny D is transferable CC. Or call him Nutcheck. Guys, I'm sorry I read that too late. Okay, so running into a Magneton, nicknamed Nidoqueen in Welsh's. I got time for that, I'll do that. So, yeah, the tricky one-way doors, that's the end of the dungeon. But that's a door that will warp you outside to the overworld. If I go back in, I'm not at the end of the dungeon. But I don't have a reason to go back in there. I've gotten what I need. Another place that's like that is Cinnabar Mansion, which is why you have to be careful if you're doing that part of the game. You don't want to waste time. Okay, where's that name writer? It's one of these houses. Where's that? Is there an apostrophe? Is that an apostrophe or a comma? Yeah, just one word, Welch's. How does it rate nicknames? There has to be a convoluted formula. All the name rater does is change the nickname of your Pokemon as long as you didn't receive it in a trade. He doesn't even rate it. You just change his nickname. Alright, I'm looking at the stream here, and there seems to be an encoding issue. What could be going on here? Currently, keyframes are not being which will cause. Shoot. I don't really know how to solve that. The stream is glitching like a vaporware vid. Vaporwave vid, pardon me. Okay, let me change the settings. Hang on. Alright, let me know if you can hear me okay. Hopefully that fixed things. I just reduced the quality slightly. Philips PC. Deposit. What does my team look like here? Are you fine? Okay. So Sam, since you're in the stream, how about you explain to everybody why you chose to call Mew Hugo? Because I can't answer that question. Because I don't know the answer. Contains Mega Drain. Who shall learn Mega Drain? Okay. Tide Solar Beam for that reason. Team Metronome. Let's see it. Yeah, it should be fine now, Sam. I don't get that many viewers regularly. That's neat. I'm putting Zapdos on my team here because Even though I don't necessarily have type advantage, I don't think any of these guys have rock attacks like the Fun Run. Generation 1 is kind of unbalanced, as some of you may know. A lot of the ground type trainers here, I mean, there's only a few ground type attacks in Generation 1. The ones I can think of off the top of my head are Earthquake and Fissure. So, believe it or not, I actually have some type advantage here. Giovanni's Gym, despite officially being ground, it's an eclectic mix of rock, ground, fighting, and normal. And I guess some poison too, with some of these smart alecky tamers having I think one of the guys has an art book. Anyway, I'm confident that Zapdos can make a hit. Maybe I'll teach Metronome to somebody after I'm done with this gym. Okay. A lot of these Pokemon have rock or ground appearance, specifically Kangaskhan. I had always wondered why Kangaskhan was not a ground or rock type. I don't understand what makes Kangaskhan so normal. Alright, a revive. That's good. Maybe I might want to see if I can. The thought of being approached by a Machoke in its Speedo shorts is unsettling. You know, you have to wonder, where does the Speedo come from? Because Machop is naked, but then when it evolves, it becomes... it gets the Speedo. And also when it becomes Machamp. So is that naturally part of its body? I don't understand. Yeah, Aerodactyl and Rhyhorn are just gonna have a standstill here. Gonna need to wet that rock. Because no one wants to see the Pokejunk. Oh man. Something tells me Nintendo would approve of a toy called Pokejunk. Pokespunk. Junkman? More like Spokeman. As you can see, the rest of this gym is a waste of time. So I'm just gonna beat this cool trainer, then Giovanni, then Rival Battle. I'll probably stop around Victory Road. It's an outer shell. For Kangaskhan? So why was he named Hugo, Sam? Yes, Sam, we want to know. The shell is for Machoke. Oh, you mean the Speedo, okay. Huh, that's kind of gross. It's like a brand sponsor thing. I don't know what Hugo is. And yet you're the one who named it. Tim, when we shared this file, this is an old file that we started like 5 years ago. You decided to name you Hugo. You're telling me you don't remember that. Come on, just a little more, Hugo. Well, I remember that. You are so cheeky. I don't have an antidote with me. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't think Mew's gonna make it to the Elite Four. It's just really gonna be underclassed. Mm. Oh well. I almost forgot what I had for lunch. Whoa, this is my hideout. Why does Giovanni sound like a vampire? Plan to resurrect Team Rocket here. Well, you've caught me again. So be it this time. I'm not holding back. That's my... well, whatever. Yeah, Sam said to name Nido Queen to change her name to Welch's. So I like how Giovanni wears a big... What an explanation for that. Nobody's ever told me why he has one. It's either a heart or, I guess, a handkerchief. I don't know. This could actually be tough. Haha, you fool. This could be somewhat tough because... Oh, nah. I was gonna say Doug Trio. There's a possibility Doug Trio might get high critical hits because of high speed, but I just got a critical hit myself, so that was lucky. Next is trying to learn Body Slam. Can't learn more moves. Let's get rid of Headbutt. I always thought it was a Boutinier. I don't know what that is. Let's see, is Persian. Dang, Zapdos be looking like Big Bird. No kidding. Okay, he's being really stupid using guard specs right now. If I remember correctly, guard specs bow tenure. Bow tenure. Okay, that doesn't explain to me what it is though. Him using guard specs is stupid because I don't think that protects against special attacks like Ice Beam. It's a fire that goes with attacks, yeah. Oh, like I guess like a carnation James Bond would wear or something like that, right? Nido Queen. Yet, even though he has high levels, I just think I have a better strategy. It's why you can do some decently under leveled runs of this game. Well, you Giovanni is a mobster, and all the monsters are based off of Don Corleone, who was in the wedding of the first Godfather, aka the Bernstein Bear, the Bloodstain Bear. The handkerchief, okay. I get it. Oh, it's a flower, okay. Yeah, no. wiping the floor down with them. Actually, if I remember correctly, the levels in yellow are a little bit higher than they are in red and blue. The Elite Four is a little tricky. Jesus, I can't talk today. The Elite Four is a little tricky in this game. See, because, well, not just the Elite Four. They use attacks that are not necessarily natural to the Pokemon. So that can be, that makes you have to think a little bit about your team and what have you. Queen with her arms open, like she's yelling, "Look at my Poke-tits." Ew, it's a kid's game. Sam, there's a lot of subtext that does not make Pokemon a kid's game. Let's take a look at that. I mean, like, this game doesn't have breeding. You're right, okay. Pokemon Gold and Beyond is when they got X-rated, okay. The air spots. Like, what was it trying to explain there? The Nidoking having Thunder is kind of tactical. Oh, ooh, that might put it down. Zapdos. With the famous example being the young couple that uses the Onyx and the Cloister. Oh, man. You're being very inappropriate, though. So, Nidoking having Thunder is somewhat tactical. And that's not a moveset they would have in red and blue. At best, the push-up raw. I think Slowbro's got this. There we go. That was truly an intense fight. That one as proof here is the Earth Badge. Oh. I'm not sure. Why is it called the Earth Badge if it looks like a green feather? Just find that curious. Alright. Then as a gift, we get Fissure. And then, as an Easter egg, if you talk to Giovanni again, he will disappear, and you will never see him again in the game. Having lost, I cannot face my underlings. Team Rocket is finished forever. I'll dedicate my life to the study of Pokemon. Let us meet again someday. Farewell! And he's gone. Earth Day, environment. Doesn't explain the feather to me. Yeah, I can't stand these spinning tiles because they use so many frames. I can't do that anymore. It all adds up to a leaf. It's like a green feather. I don't understand it. Alright, so for the Pokemon League, I'm gonna need Pokemon that can learn Strength. Who can be my HM slave? Let's see. Sprinkles. No. Maybe Mankey? Get a rest soon. Okay, hopefully we can talk for real on Sunday. Alright, first and foremost, let's teach Fissure to Nidoqueen. There we go. And we'll get rid of Tail Whip. And Nidoqueen is likely to land and one-hit KOs with it right here due to a lack of speed. So that's my strategy for Nido Queen. Bye, boys. See you later, Sam. Draw. Alright. Now I'm gonna sell everything I don't need. Let's take another comb through the TMs. Mega Drain. Who could Mega Drain be good on? I think I wanted to save that for Bulbasaur. Even though I don't plan on using Bulbasaur in this run. You never know. So let's get rid of that. Elixir. Potion. Carbos will be good for Zapdos. Zapdos is pretty easily fast. Bulbasaur is a Bulbasaur. Well, it's in the name. Reflect. I was thinking of selling TM33. Maybe Zapdos might make some use of Reflect. So there we go. Then can Mankey learn Strength? That is the million-dollar question. Did I ever get TM4? I mean HM4. There we go. There we go. I should be on the path to the Pokemon League. Regardless of what happens, I will probably just stop at Victory Road's gate and just save Elite Four for next time. See, Grant says, I don't care for the post-Generation 3 games that much, but the inclusion of unlimited TMs really alleviates a lot of anxiety on my part. Yeah, it just saves a lot of time. Having to just do multiple runs of games to get TMs for competition's sake is really tedious. And stuff like that is part of the reason why I've just lost interest in this franchise. I kind of liked Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire or whatever, but I don't feel compelled to play endlessly. He just body slammed that poor little monkey. I don't feel compelled to play the games endlessly like when I was a kid. I have no tolerance for grinding anymore. I've always liked how that exclamation point is there before his sprite spawns. I'm not surprised. It's just not fair how this jerk is a few steps ahead of us always. Anyway, Grant, I agree with what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. God dang it, Bobby. Alright, the armadillo is down. Execute. Should be able to drill my way through that. I think just 1 or 2 levels in Zapdos should be good for the Pokemon League, honestly. Poison. Oh, I went to Cinnabar because I meant to get Antidote, damn it. Oh, that was a hit. Let's see if we can get one more in there. Okay. Learn Thunder. Good move to learn. But just the way these games have a lack of balance, like the electric Pokemon, for instance, the ground types, they lack a lot of stab moves for type advantage, at least naturally. I don't think Magneton learns any electric moves naturally in these games, the Generation 1 games. And I don't believe Rhyhorn or Rhydon learn any ground type attacks. It's pretty silly, the lack of foresight. Come on, one of these guys has got to land. Hurt itself in its confusion. At least it's not KOing itself in its confusion. $63 compared to what? Can't believe I haven't landed a single figure. Maybe I could have taught the Snorlax, but whatever. Yeah, the way attacks like Horn Drill and Fissure work in Generation 1, it's all about the difference in speed. It'll prioritize slower Pokemon. Damn it. Okay, well. That didn't work as well as I had hoped. Oh, Snorlax knew strength all along. Oh, I guess I really don't need Mankey. Yeah, I'll swap it out for something else. Okay, I could be mistaken, because right there, Magneton used Thunder Shock. Okay. Okay, I get it. The AI wasn't using Thunder Shock because Nidoqueen's type ground. My mistake. I know for a fact Voltorb and Electrode didn't learn any electric attacks naturally until Generation 2. That's why the introduction of the attack Spark was important. Oh, Snorlax goes down. Use the Mega Punch. Supersonic. Maybe someday I will stream my repaired version of Gold. That might be fun. Although, unfortunately, I never get Fridays off. So, if I were to do a real-time game, I don't know if I'd be able to get Lapras. It's the frustrating part. But I should definitely play that, because I got it prepared for videos. Confusion! If anybody knows that's a song by Richard Wright, former member of Pink Floyd. Obscure hit? Oh no, it wasn't a hit at all. It's an obscure single. I like it. Okay, my timer says 10 more minutes of this. This is actually not going as well as I wanted it to. Let's try Max Potion. Oh, I meant to do Drill Peck. Crap. I'm doing Drill Peck because Kadabra has very bad physical defense, as you can see it right there. Its special protects it from an attack like Thunder Shock. Alright, let's get Slowbro in there. Yeah, throw some dirt at me. See what good that does you. It's just careless. Yeah, careless at raising your Pokemon. Oh! Ready for the Pokemon League. And then he just moves faster than the speed of light because he was right there and I was gone. Pretty nutty. There's actually some glitches that can be caused by the position that Blue or Gary faces. It can confuse some things in the some behaviors in the game. Like early in the game, when you're in Oak's lab, if you position yourself in such a way, it doesn't allow his sprite to do a certain behavior to make him appear and disappear like he's supposed to. Alright, I'm going to buy a few revives, and I'll probably stop at Route 23. But yeah, so I'm going to be moving on to SNES Classic in about 5 minutes. What would you guys like to see me play? I'd prefer something that I haven't streamed before, but if you're not interested in that, I'm taking requests. That's what I'm saying. You know, which games have you streamed, Phil? There's a few I haven't. I mean, off the top of my head, Final Fantasy VI, which is very slow. Super Mario RPG, very slow. Secret of Mana, Again, takes some time to get into it. An action game I haven't done yet is Super Ghosts and Goblins. Not as good at that game as I used to be, but I'm not entirely ruling that out. I'm really surprised Killer Combat X hasn't shown up yet. Super Ghosts and Goblins. I said I'd do that for the last half of this, but I'm not sure how much longer my sanity would be able to keep up with that. I know that I did Donkey Kong Country, but I barely played it because I ran out of bandwidth. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time with the way I've adjusted the settings. We'll take a look at what I haven't touched. Do you want to right ahead? To show you how clever the design of the game is, if you can sequentially get to this area, but that means every time you go through a guard, it's a check to see what badge you have. But the Pokemon that you run into in this area, even if you just were just stumbling through this area, they're not terribly overpowered. So I think that's neat. It's and then besides getting to Cinnabar Island and Mewtwo, I think this is one of the few parts of the game where you actually need Surf to get through this part. It is possible to glitch your way through here. I believe it's possible to glitch your way to the walls to the left and right and walk over here. Now you gotta love how this guard here, it's like somebody at a pool, like a lifeguard at a pool or a swimming instructor, and I just stood there, berating me about how I can't pass and not even looking at me. It's all very silly. I don't think there's anything special about that island there. When I was younger, I was trying to see if I could sneak past the guards in this area. I think it's only possible by walking through walls. Okay, I guess Grant works for me in regards to Super Ghosts and Goblins. Because you're going to try to torture me. If you have the volcano badge, yeah. According to the map, according to the artwork of this game, this is supposed to be you journeying into the mountains. But I don't think the Gameboy graphics do the best job of conveying that. But that's what's supposed to be illustrated here. You can pass here if you have the earth bed, yeah. And then aside from fishing, that very tiny patch of grass right there are the only wild encounters in this area. And it's frankly mediocre Pokemon like Arbok and Sandshrew. It's very odd. I always figured it was just a billing motif. I don't know what that means. Hey, Killer Combat, I was wondering when you would show up. Okay, we're going to stop playing Pokemon Yellow now, and then for the next about 45 minutes, I'm going to do Super NES Classic, and we're going to do a game I haven't done in stream. I will be a bit busy, but I will try to come back. By the way, classic rich Pokemon games will never die. Yeah, they will never die as long as their batteries keep working. So thank you for that. Okay, I saved the game. Refresh while I change devices. Just give me one moment here. Okay, I'm on Super NES Classic now. Have to reposition myself a little bit because this, as I've complained before, this is a very short cables I'm dealing with here. Actually, anytime I play on Super Famicom, I play on an extension cable because I believe the Japanese controllers are shorter than the American ones. But okay, just let me know when you guys are here or back. Can anyone hear me okay? Anybody heard anything I said? You're good, okay. Good to hear, okay. So let me try to think of, let's go to least played. Okay. Loud and clear, game needs some more volume. Got it. That should be better. Okay. So I haven't played, this is starting with Star Fox's most played game here. Least played. Haven't played Super Ghouls and Ghosts, haven't played Secret of Mana on here. I did maybe 5 minutes of Link to the Past. Let's see, so one, bam, bam, bam. Haven't done Final Fantasy VI. I don't think I've played Super Metroid in stream. I don't believe I've done Super Mario Kart either. Yeah, I think that I would like to do Secret of Mana and Super Mario RPG. It's just those games take a lot of time. I'd much more be down for an action title, but do we have any requests here? Let's try and narrow it down. So, Ghouls and Ghosts, Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Super Mario Kart. Let's make it a toss-up between those four. See one more time. Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Super Mario Kart, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Not getting any feedback here, guys. What's going on? Still voting Ghosts? Okay. One for Super Golden Ghost. Super Metroid. Okay. Okay, I'll do 45 minutes here. I'll play this game for as long as my sanity will permit, and then I'll shoot for Super Metroid. So, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This is the probably the first of the Ghosts and Goblins games I've played. This is the first one made entirely for home hardware. Maybe, I guess, not counting the Gargoyles Quest game. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first game that Capcom made entirely from the ground up with the Super Nintendo hardware. This game is easier than the other Ghosts and Goblins games, but all the Ghosts and Goblins games are hard, so this is really just less hard than those. The double jump is there to trick you. And once again, you can only truly beat this game by playing it twice. Now, I have beaten this game, but that was a long time ago. And by that, I mean both runs. That was way back, wow, 13 years ago. In the Capcom collections, this is one of the few games that gets re-released. Despite not being an arcade game. I'm not too deterred. Good thing I'm in the background. Alright, I got 200 points, good for me. And I'm dead. Anybody have any memories or... Shit, that was terrible. Anybody have any memories or experiences with this franchise? Because usually... I would say quite a few people have played these games, but only a very small handful seems to actually like them on their own merits. They're very difficult. From what I've played, I really like the second game of the series a lot. That's terrible. And that's it. What makes it tough is it's kind of like Castlevania. The earlier Castlevanias where when you jump, you're locked into that movement. That's where a lot of difficulty of these games come from. That and just plain old memorization. I've done better. I know I can do better. Let's try to do better. Another tricky thing is that you can only have 2 lances on screen at a time. So you just have to be very careful with how you manipulate all the objects on the screen. I don't remember the slowdown being this bad. There we go. Okay. But you just gotta keep moving and shoot strategically. Well, that sucked. I remember there being a Newgrounds game where you could play as Mega Man in the original games levels. You know, that sounds like it would be much easier. Mandela effect when I always thought it was ghosts and goblins, but when I rediscovered it, everything called it ghouls and goblins. Well, here's the thing about the series. I forget the Japanese name of the games, but the first one in the US is Ghosts and Goblins. Second one is Ghouls and Ghosts, and then this one is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. But I have a terrible habit of accidentally calling this game Super Ghosts and Goblins, which is not accurate, but people know what the hell you're talking about when you say that anyway. So I get a freebie either way. That's not good. No matter what, you only get 2 hits, so that's what makes these games challenging. Even if you're in your regular armor or the gold armor, it does not matter. And now I'm a baby. Hooray. It's like I'm really playing this for the first time again. The later levels of this game get very tense. Right now this is just bad playing, but man, definitely look up those later levels. That sucks. Definitely look up those later levels when you have a chance. Let's go under that. That sucks out loud. This and Dynamite Cop are the only game I know that use increased nudity as an indicator for health. Well, luckily Arthur doesn't get more immodest than his boxer shorts. I don't know how historically accurate that is, but there we go. There we go. That helps. Duh. Going full 90s here. This helps tremendously. Might actually be able to make some progress here now. Let me see. I think I missed the gold armor, but I'm just gonna have to live without it. I completely forgot about that. That is not fair. Nope, no checkpoints. I'm tempted to call that canine a hyena, but it's probably supposed to be a werewolf. Oh, really thought I could avoid that. I think some of the slowdown for this game is fixed up a little bit in Capcom Classics Collection, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's good to have. Well, that sucks. Okay, I'm gonna give this one more run. One more run, pardon me. I'm just not speaking correctly on any of these streams. Goddamn. I'll give this one more run, and then I'll move on to Super Metroid. And that will have to do it. Probably not going to make much progress in Super Metroid, but we'll see. That is terrible. Well, hey, Nintendo uploaded pirated emulated games, so... Well, hey, Nintendo uploaded pirated emulated games onto the VEC. The SNES Classics having pirated games on it would probably lead to some slowdown. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but slowdown is native to Super Nintendo hardware. The console wasn't always the best at speed. I love the Mega Man X games for instance. Those games have some issues with slowdown. Super Mario World has issues with slowdown. I love Super Mario World. I can't deny facts. I don't think Super Metroid has. Well, no, yeah, Super Metroid has issues with slowdown towards the end. It's pretty prevalent in Star Fox. Actually, there's some ROM hacks fix up some of the issues with Star Fox and make it much more playable. But I think you might be talking about. I think there was an. This is really shitty. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm moving on to Super Metroid. That's where my patience has its limits. I'm gonna save that for now, and maybe sometime later I'll make some progress. I have beaten the game before. I'm just criminally out of practice. And the game is very hard. Okay, where the hell is, there we go. I was in the impression because because people always talk about SNES ports. That issue comes with people not being able to emulate colors and certain parts of the game code properly. Those particular things that you're talking about. And I'm walking. Okay, hang on. I don't like this control scheme. Okay. Usually, when I play Super Metro, I use a different scheme. Okay, I can deal with that. Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, stuff involving the dolphins in Super Mario World, that just doesn't come out properly. There we go, that's much better. As much as I like Super Metroid, I'm not too crazy about the default control scheme for this game. If you played it, you might know what I'm talking about. What I'm doing right now is not necessary. It's good to practice wall jumping. But the default control scheme for this game, normally it's X is shot, and A is jump, and B is dash. If you ever noticed, when I play Mega Man X, when I'm mapping buttons, I usually map dash to be a shoulder button. I was never really too crazy about it being a face button. I feel I just have more control over the character when I do that. Unfortunately, not having the default control scheme means that I can't do certain glitches and tricks, but I can live with that. I can absolutely live with that. So I skipped the beginning of the game. This is a save file that I have where I skipped the part on the space colony because just not much happens here. But I'm only really missing 3 minutes of the game. But you're pretty naked early on. Just you do the shots up and down. I can duck. That's really about it. This is the first Metroid game I ever played, and this one defined the series for me and a lot of other people. It took me a long time to really appreciate it for what it is. This part here is actually the end of the original Metroid, and it's the beginning of the game. It's a nice callback that you don't appreciate when you're an elementary school kid who's never played Metroid. Volume is still too low. Okay. Is that better? This is a nice spot to practice wall jumping. There we go. Grant, what is that no in response to? If you can hear me, try refreshing the stream. Okay. Hopefully that's better. Now we get our first power up, the Morph Ball, or back then as it was called, the Morphing Ball. But they spotted us. Those bastards. The guy reminds me of the guy from Jabba's palace entrance. I can't disagree with that. Okay. Let me see if I can get this right. If I can't get that, I'll just worry about that later. I know there's some way you can manipulate the physics to get to that, but I forget how to do that. Even though I like this game a lot, I'm never going to pretend to be an expert on it. There are just so many people who have spent a lot of time tearing this game apart and can explain it in ways that I can't. And I can deal with that, it's fine. Anybody have any experiences playing Super Metroid? This is definitely a game that's special for a lot of people. Alright, and that eye is a setup for the space pirates. They have appeared and they are going to hurt me. So we gotta hurt them first. I played in high school, I believe. I liked the game a lot, but was surprised to it was considered an all-time great. I'll admit picking on subtlety isn't my specialty. There are some things about this game that I think are not immediately obvious the first time you play it, but they start to grow on you, and that's where the replayability comes from. I appreciate little nods like, I mean, obviously I didn't play the original Metroid when I first had this, but now that I have, I think it's cool that this entire section is a nod to the end of that game. I didn't play this game when it was first released, so I don't know, maybe I'm taking some things for granted. Well, I didn't play it before. I played it in elementary school. And if you think about 2D action games that came out after Super Metroid, a lot of them just owe their existence to this game. the way the map works, for instance, is revolutionary. This is actually the first Metroid game with a map. The original Metroid game is like being a rat in a maze. Yeah, I'd say this game in Mega Man X definitely popularized speedrunning. For sure. Okay. Fortunately, I'm not the speediest of runners. My history was Prime briefly, Fusion, Prime 2 Zero Mission, and Super Introduction. Zero Mission and Fusion are very good Game Boy Advance games, but I feel a lot of tactics, a lot of the more advanced play tactics from Super get neutered due to the fact that the layouts of those games are very linear and the control schemes were much more streamlined, mostly because they had less buttons to work with than Super NES. But for a long time, my fantasy was to have Super Metroid on a portable. Finally happened with new 3DS, although I don't have that just yet. That and Mega Man X were two games I wanted portable for a long time. I still need to play Samus Returns. I'm a big fan of the series in general. I actually have a save state on my Wii of the very end of the original Metroid. Uh, I think I was trying to go for the best ending. I did a bunch of save state manipulation. Because that game. I could get more into this some other time, but I consider the original Metroid much like Star Fox, to be a flawed classic. A lot of good ideas were introduced going forward, but many aspects of the game just have not aged well. And, okay. Walking, and, okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the only game where Samus can moonwalk. And I'm pretty sure I don't think wall jumping was any better than it was in this game. It's a little tricky for sure. But I think the timing in Zero Mission was very... I did not like it in that one. I like older games, but when I unlocked the original and Zero Mission, I tried to do my best to get into it, but I couldn't. I think it's aged very poorly. It's hard for some very wrong reasons, and there's some insane glitches in that game. There's also just some bad design choices in it. I have a lot of respect for people who are good at that game. I am not good at it. I also think it's very unfair in a few places. I'll tell you this much though, it's fun to mess with passwords in the original Metroid. Doing that, you get to see how broken that game is. Okay, well this is a very uneventful run. I'm most likely just gonna have to stop at the next save station. Really sorry to see that. And luckily I'm close to the next save station. It's actually called Engage Ridley, motherfucker. I've only tried that in emulators. I've never tried it on the actual thing. I've heard that it can permanently fuck up a cartridge. I'm not sure how, and I just wouldn't want to experiment with that. That just sounds terrifying. I'm also told that it's a horrifying coincidence. That it's nothing sinister. That it's just it's all very interesting. But the way that game is hard for weird, wrong reasons is that there's no invincibility frames. At least none that I'm aware of. And that makes parts when you get stuck in lava infuriating. There's also just some very cheap, unfair stuff, like in Torian, which is the mechanical end area of the game. There are some ring enemies that can hit you through a door. Metroids can absorb you through a door. All kinds of crazy stuff. It can be a very frustrating game at times. Alright, well, sadly, have some errands that I need to take care of, and then I'm gonna see Black Panther with some of my friends. So this is probably gonna be it until at least next Tuesday. But keep an eye out for the Injustice video. I'm trying to have it up no later than Sunday. My problem is, like, every room is an 80-foot tall pit that you can just fall in. Yeah, that's a big design issue. And a lot of the areas look almost the same. And there's no map. It's pretty nutty. And that was supposed to be part of the fun back then. It's just, you know, technology changes. Also, I'm not playing now. This is just demo mode. This is recording my failed attempts and playing them back for you to see. How cheeky. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening to me ramble about silly stuff. And hope you enjoy the Injustice video when it happens.